I'm David Gross with Condi Systems, back with you to share another one of my 101 tips and tricks for sublimation success. I'm shooting this in January of 2011 and I'm updating my tips and tricks, so I may have to start saying more than 101 tips and tricks, but for now it's still 101 tips. I'm going to share with you, I think it's tip number 44, tip number 44. And that tip talks about the Pro Spray and heat tape. These are two essential accessories for every sublimator to hold the transfer to the substrate. If the transfer moves when we're sublimating or after the sublimating, the transfer will land in a new spot, it will begin sublimating again, and it will cause a shadow print. Very ugly, looks bad, and is something that you want to prevent at all cost. And there's two strategies for doing it. One is Pro Spray, one is heat tape. Heat tape, and sometimes the two are interchangeable, sometimes it's a matter of personal preference. Heat tape is for instance, very good for holding hard substrates, holding the transfer to a hard substrate, like holding something to a license plate to the transfer, things like that. Pro Spray is also helpful for hard substrates and soft substrates, but it's going to be essential for things like shirts and other soft substrates, mouse pads, things like that. It's really a matter of preference. Pro Spray is a little bit like using a can of paint, and the nozzle and so forth needs to stay clear. So just like an aerosol that's spraying paint out, if you don't take care of the nozzle, if you don't turn it upside down to clean the nozzle ever so often, then clumps might come out. But once you sort of bond with it, become used to it, I think it's quite valuable. Also, Pro Spray really should be used carefully. For instance, many of our sublimators have a big cardboard box where they put the substrate, put the transfer into it and spray it in the box. When I do it, I typically hold it very close or down in a trash can so that the mist doesn't fall to the floor. If the mist falls to the floor, your floor is going to get sticky, and you want to confine it to a limited area so that it doesn't get in your ear, things like that. And again, it isn't very hard to do it all. And so what I want to do today is I want to demonstrate the use of Pro Spray, and also shows you what happens if you don't use Pro Spray. And we're going to sort of cause a shadow print to happen so you can see what a shadow print looks like, just in case you haven't seen it before. So first thing is we're going to do the transfer using Pro Spray. And normally in my lab and where we transfer, I have a big garbage can and I dip it down. But essentially what we do is we're just going to put a mist on here. And so we'll do it. And there we go. And that's pretty much all we need to hold it on that. Now the part where we're trying to prevent the shadow print is really as we're opening the press. That's where we're trying to prevent it, because when we're opening it, everything is at 400 degrees, everything is at max temperature and max time, but there is still some active ink on the transfer, and if it moves at all, we're going to see that shadow print. So we're going to put it on here, and then we're going to smooth it out. Now, when you smooth it out, if you need to reposition it, you can. And so, many of us that are doing this will use our fingers and thumbs to position it correctly. But now we're just playing around, just showing you the basics here. But the transfer is on there. We smooth it out. It does have some tack to it, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for just a little tack. Now, if we put too much Pro Spray on it, then when we take it off, our substrate is going to be a little sticky, and that's not what we want. So it's a little bit of an art to putting just a mist on there, and then you're good to go. We'll put our cover sheet on here. Now we're going to press it. Going 400 degrees, 45 seconds. Now, the video that I just shot before, I don't know where it'll be in this sequence, but it shows you a new technique, which I didn't use, to tear the edge of the paper. And if I'd done that here, okay, then we'd prevent the marks that we'll see when it turns out. But really the purpose of this video is to show you how to prevent a shadow print, And I think when we'll do the backside without the Pro Spray, I'll cause a little shadow. I think I'll tear the edge like I did in a previous video to show you. I think it's a great technique. 5 seconds. Okay, we're just about done. We're going to open our press. And we're going to open our press, air rushes in. And that's what causes the paper to move. And so in this case, the paper is just not going to move. It's just not going to move because it still has just a little bit of tack left. And that's what we're after. See there? A little bit of tack left. And so it just off. And we get a good, clean text. Good, clean, sharp image. And that's what we're after. We're after a good, clean, no shadow, Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip over the shirt. And we're going to do the back side. And we're going to try to induce a little bit of a shadow print so I can demonstrate what we're looking at so you can see an example of it. My new technique for you that haven't watched the other video is to rip each edge of the paper so that we have a soft edge. So we're going to rip the edge, and that gives us a soft edge so that the edge of the paper doesn't bite into the shirt. I think it's a great technique for eliminating the vicious little line that we see on the shirts. Now I'm left-handed, so I've got an excuse why I can't tear. I can't cut or tear. And if you're left-handed, you probably can appreciate that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it on here. And what we're going to do is we're going to open it up sort of roughly to see if we can sort of get it to shake just a little bit. And I think I'm going to change my cover sheet. Paper we're using is just inexpensive, what I call uncoated butcher paper. Okay. And so we're going to try our best to get a little bit of a shake here. Okay, we're going to open our press, and we're just going to sort of be a little sloppy here, see if we can't get a little bit of a blur. And, I don't think it blurred at all, but gosh darn, it looks good. So we didn't get a blur, but I can tell you that the Pro Spray will increase your reliability and help you get even better results. But again, I've done this for so long, I'm just, subconscious-wise, it's something that I can do and probably don't even know I'm doing it. But at any rate, the point is that Pro Spray is a valuable resource for you to ensure that the paper doesn't move while you're setting up the press. Mouse pad's very valuable. Well, this has been David Gross with Condi Systems. Hope you enjoyed this tip. Please continue watching our videos and email me with your comments at dgross@condi.com.